Friday's under-16 girls basketball final was won by Scarlet Knights. An impressive match saw them take on Huskies, a team who had an easier ride to the finals. They comfortably won their 3 matches in the group phase. Scarlet Knights, however, had a tougher time, drawing their first game against Terriers, beating Pirates by a buzzer-beating shot, and losing to Huskies. Nevertheless, Scarlet Knights found themselves in the finals, up against Huskies, who had already beaten them once. The pressure was on to recover, and they did just that. They took the first quarter 13-10, both teams putting in strong performances, but it seemed that Huskies weren't enjoying the same accuracy as their opponents. With each quarter, their lead increased, but Huskies were not going down without a fight. The final quarter was a draw on points, both sides taking 8, but it was impossible for Huskies to match the performance that Scarlet Knights had put in, winning 54-35 and becoming Under-16 League Cup champions. After the game, Gabba mascot Rocky was on hand to present the winners and runners-up with the medals, followed by individual awards. Final MVP was actually given to 2 players, Jade Garro and Julia Doña. The tournament All-Star 5 included Maya Breeze of Pirates, Hannah Cabezuto of Terriers, Hannah Tante of Scarlet Knights, Mara Toderam and Nanda Deuma of Huskies. And finally, the Best Work Ethic Prize went to Erin Byrne of Pirates. The final showed off the skill and development of junior basketball within the girls section. A lot of time and effort has been put forward by all those involved. Leading the way is head coach of mini basketball Andrew Deuma and coordinator Jason McMahon, both very excited about the direction the sport is taking.
Well, this is a bit the culmination of probably 3 years groundwork with Mini. So after a period of about 3 years strong recruitment, we've managed to pool enough players to be able to host an under-16 league. I think that in years to come, probably in the next 1 or 2 years, we'll be able to further improve the number of leagues we've got into under-14 and under-16. But at the moment, we've got a group of around 40 to 45 players, which are of similar level and ability, which we can group together and have these competitions, which for the first time in maybe 15 to 20 years is, female competition for girls in basketball. I believe that it hasn't been done in the past. So yeah, that's pretty much the background. Looking forward to next year. We hope to have another cohort of mini girls moving up, and thereon we can separate into different age categories.
And how would you say, in terms of competitiveness, has it been as competitive as you hoped it would be?
I mean, it's been very competitive. We've had several teams and matches which have gone down to the wire. We've had a couple of draws. We've had a match being decided in the last second with a 3-pointer from the halfway line. So overall, it's been a very competitive competition. All we did was seed the players. So we had a very equal level of abilities in each team. And that's how we managed for all players or all different abilities to be able to play in competitive matches.
And when putting the girls together into teams, was that up to the technical staff, or were the girls involved in creating the teams?
Pretty much we work on the basis of the 4 teams. They're not separated, they're all trained together. So they've all got a bond. So it didn't really matter at the time of making the teams because they all know each other. So all we did as myself and Jason was basically look at each player, profile them and make up the teams. That way we achieved very competitive and equal teams in terms of skill.
Okay. Well, as a coach, I'm not going to ask you the next question. This goes for Jason. What did you make of the final today?
Well, no, it was a very exciting game. The thing is, they are putting into practice what we do during the training sessions, and it's different to how we played in the past. Mm-hmm. We are not doing any systems, no systematics, no tacticals. Right now what we're concentrating with under 14, under 16 is we want to have good one-on-one players, playing offense and playing defense. And I'm very happy with the performance of a lot of girls. The players are starting to come out of the comfort zone, doing things that last year they wouldn't even think of to do when they had the ball. They get the ball and they go from A to B, from B to C, and from C to D, and then after 5 passes they look at the basket. Now in this league we are encouraging players that as soon as you get the ball, you attack your defender and you go straight to the basket. And we've seen it a lot of times today. And apart from that, after you lose possession of the ball, you need to sprint back the 5 and play defense. So this, we've seen it. There's no zone defense, and I mean we see there a lot of mistakes. It's a work in progress, and I'm encouraging the coaches that the winning is not important. It's working the small things in practice. If you're losing by 20, don't get down. Keep working the next possession on offense and on defense, and trust the process. It's we're trying to change the culture that you win. Winning does not come in the games. Winning starts in practice, and you need to turn that practice and work hard, and that will translate to our competition.
And of course, like you mentioned, there's some girls here as young as 13 years old. They've played almost an hour of basketball, which shows in the fitness of some of them. If you had to analyse the game, looking at them as if it was a competitive match, it kind of ran away in the third quarter, and you could see Scarlet Knights really taking over. If you had to give them some constructive criticism to Huskies, what would you say to them? Where did they go wrong?
Well, small things make big things happen. We have the mentality that we cannot permit players to miss uncontested layups, and this is a constant battle. And it gets to a point that if they miss layups, they run, and it reflects to here how many uncontested layups do we miss. 20, 30. So if you make half of them, then it's not a 20-point game difference. It's only a 5. Then you add the free throws, and you score less 33% or more than what you missed. Then it's the game would be even. But small details make big things happen, and we have to try and control those small mistakes, which we can control, because they are uncontested layups. And that will narrow down the score playing against any other team. When we go to competitions, teams are 50 points better because the simple things they do them correctly, and we don't. That's the difference.
Oh, well,
you play as you practice.
Yeah. It's all for, like you say, they want to enjoy themselves. It's all about development. We have seen some very highly skilled plays. The technique is coming along well for the girls. You've held a lovely presentation for them where you've had an all 5 stars team called out, so it kind of gives them a bit of glory to some of them. Others will obviously look at themselves and think, okay, I need to work on this part, as you said.
Yes.
So what's next for them? What's next for the under 16s and the 14s?
For the under 16, then after Christmas we have the league. If we have to change a couple of players here and there, we are going to look at it. And the good thing is that in March we have a tour of Madrid. So players need to work hard in order to make the team. And then come summer we have the under 16s, and I think it's the under 16s girls that are playing in Moldova. So they have that tournament to look forward to in the summer.
So plenty happening for women's basketball.
Basketball never stops.
And what is the future plan? I know that with the men's we're quite settled. We're seeing a lot of development there. And I know you've put in a lot of time and effort over the past couple of years trying to make sure that numbers go up for women's basketball. What is the plan?
It's like you go to any successful university in the States. The key of having a good program is recruiting. So it's recruiting players and making it enjoyable for them to play basketball. That's key. Having kids wanting to play basketball. We are not about winning. We are about player development. And I think if that is our focus point in our development program. The future's bright.
At senior level, history was made by Laundry La Colada, who won the first phase of the Richie Buchanan Trophy competition after a crushing defeat on Bavaria Blue Stars on Monday night. The relatively new team to the basketball scene beat the Blue Stars by 40 points, the biggest ever defeat in Blue Stars' 56-year history. La Colada now sits in first place with 76 points. Bavaria still hot on their heels though, they're just 2 points behind. Now basketball takes a break, returning to the court on the 7th of January for the knockout phase. Quarterfinals take place on Wednesday the 9th and Friday the 11th. The only confirmed quarterfinal is Valma Haarlem v Bayside. The rest will be decided on the 7th.